here at the range. We're going to do some gel testing. We're going to gel test the 199 grain Hammer Hunter against a very well-known, highly reputable long-range hunting bullet. We've loaded up a brand new 300 rum Browning Hell's Canyon 8 twist. We loaded both bullets to basically a pretty hot load, a top end load that we could get out of them and be reasonable on the brass. So we're going to start out by shooting the competitor bullet and see how we do in the gel. We're shooting at 100 yards, and both rifles are zeroed dead on at 100 yards, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so everybody knows we've checked the hollow point on this bullet to make sure that we've got a full hollow point. We'll just go from here straight into the gun. We'll see what happens. Okay, fire in the hole. Okay, we had a successful hit. Okay, so our second block held up. It's perfect. Nothing made it to it. That's good, because we're going to run short on blocks. Our wood table took a beating. Very interesting. Okay, should have brought a tape measure. We'll go get a tape measure and do some measuring on this. But this is the entrance side here. You can see it went in, oh, it looks like 2 inches or so, and then really opened up very well. You can see that's a very massive wound channel. And then what, about 10 inches in or so, then our permanent wound channel stopped, and you can see the retained shank ended right at the end of the block. I'd say that's very good performance for that bullet. That's what it's supposed to do. That's good. We really wanted to see a perfect performance from that so that we can compare our bullet to it. Very nice. Okay, so now we're going to shoot the 199 Hammer Hunter. No need to check the hollow point. These are always open. So, and this is starting out at a muzzle velocity of 3460, correct? Okay, fire in the hole. Let's go see what happens. There's a hole in that second block, I can see it.
Came out the top.
Oh, it did come out the top right there. It's hot. There we go. Very nice. That went in roughly about the same 2 inches. Started its expansion. You can see the shed petals coming off. Tracking along, there's a shed pedal that stopped here. Another one and another one. A few more pieces that stopped there. And right about what,
30 inches?
30 inches. We'll have to get a tape measure on this. Permanent wound channel stopped. Bullet just exited out of the top of the gel right here and stuck in the magazine. There's the retained shank. That's what we're after, a nice square flat front with that nose shed off. You can see how long that permanent wound channel lasts. Very good, nice comparison. Okay, we're going to do a long range simulation test. We're using a 30-06 this time with a 9-inch twist barrel. Same two bullets, the 199 grain Hammer Hunter and the 215 grain competitor. We're going to shoot the competitors first. We've already verified that we're on the dot at 300. So I got my little paper clip again so we can verify that we've got the hollow point open in the bullet. There we go. So we'll put that in there. Target muzzle velocity with this one is 2200-ish, give or take. Yeah, we're at 300 yards on this target. So we're trying to simulate an impact velocity of, about 1900 feet per second. So that would be a good simulation of a long range hunting shot. 2157 muzzle velocity. Oh my, look at that piece of lead that came out down here. Yep. I think that's the core of the bullet right there. That's the lead core. And then that's the jacket.
Splitters.
It tumbled. The nose is left off, broken off right here.
But the bullet looks forward. Tumbled again here. See how it widens? That's what it's doing.
Did it separate core? Because there's a,
I know.
what's this down here? There's a little piece that came down here. Mm-hmm. And then there's that guy right up there.
Yeah, but look at the wound channel there. To nothing, it's tumbling. That's exactly what it's doing.
And the nose broke off here, but it doesn't look like it tumbled. It looks like it bent over and broke off. Is what it looks like. So it didn't make any wound channel until 9, 10 inches of penetration. And then at that point, there's a pretty good wound channel for 5 inches. Say the width of that channel, it's kind of narrow from the top, but kind of wide down here. So it's about 2 inches wide. And then the shank of the bullet stopped back here. Okay, we okay to stab it out?
Yeah.
So a chunk of the lead in the front half of it is probably what we're seeing down there in the block. It's stiff.
Well, there's a little bit of weight to it.
I think there's still some left in the base. Chunk of lead. So when that nose, looks like when that nose folded, the lead peeled out the side, and that was the lead from the front half of the bullet. Interesting. Okay. I guess those results speak for themselves. Since these blocks aren't really cheap, this second block from the first test there, it has very little damage. We're going to turn it around backwards where there's no impacts here, and we'll use it as the second block to catch on the hammer test here. We're going to run the hammer now. Same distance, the 300-yard low velocity impact test. Same rifle, 9 twist 30-06. Here our target muzzle velocity is 2,300 feet per second, looking to get the same impact velocity as we had with the 215 grain bullet. So let's see if we can hit it. Okay, fire in the hole. That's a good hit. 2233. That's the impact we were looking for. Oh, it's low. We're hoping for 100 feet faster than that. That's going to be a good low velocity impact. Yeah, so deformation again starts at 2 inches in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can see the petals peeling off.
Yep.
One even made it to here, and then the main shank still went on through.
Yeah.
So we got 24 inches of penetration.
Permanent wound channel to the end of the first block.
17.
17 inches of permanent wound.
And they're still opened at 2.
And opened at 2 inches. So another thing I wanted to point out in this, that bullet came in, expanded 2 inches in, create permanent wound channel to about the 17-inch mark. The retained shank then went, another 8 inches with no tumbling. That bullet stopped, pointing straight forward, square on in the front of the shank. Exactly the performance we asked out of our bullet at high or low velocity. Without the scale here right now, I bet if we weigh this one compared to the one that impacted at the 100 yards, that retained shank has exactly the same retained weight. Let's dig this one out. Pretty good. A little bit of peeling on the edges, but still pretty square. I can live with that. So here's the high velocity impact versus the low velocity impact. Same shank, just a little more squish. Now that we're done doing the testing and seeing what we saw in the gel test, the high velocity impact testing was good. Both bullets I thought performed to what they were designed to do. The hammer had great penetration, and the competitor bullet had massive wound, but didn't penetrate very far. Pretty classic for what the bullet's designed for. And then our low velocity testing was quite interesting. The hammer did as we expect, initiated expansion at 2 inches in, shed completely the nose, had, I forget, 17, 18 inches of full penetration with pedals tracking along with the retained shank without any tumbling. Retained shank stopped, point forward. The competitor bullet took, I forget, 8 inches of penetration before it showed any kind of disruption of the bullet. The nose peeled back and broke off, and then shed the lead core from the jacket, and both stopped just into the second gel block.